Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rocket League Server Champions. It's day 3, and I'm still Mr. Betbig. Tonight, I've got Captain Etsoka with me to enjoy the final series of this wonderful event. Etsoka, how you doing?
Well, I am doing just swell and all is well. And honestly, I cannot wait to get into the championship between these two teams. We're getting ready to see Nemesis and Team Frontline go at it head-to-head for the grand prize of $300.
A lot on the line here. Just to recap a little bit how these two teams got here. Team Frontline on day 1 swept, but it was a very close sweep over their opponent, who, of course, as I start this, slips my mind, but they had those 2 7-minute overtimes that had me and Volts feeling like we were running a marathon at the end of that series, but they hung on, they won, they sorted out their problems, they took care of business yesterday against Audacity to get to this point. And then Nemesis, they beat Old Farts and RLPC both on day 2, and now they sit in the grand finals against a formidable TFL foe.
And honestly, I can't wait to get into this one just because, going into this, I talked a lot about Team Frontline and I talked a lot about Audacity, but now Audacity's out. We still got Team Frontline, but with that being said, they have to go up against Nemesis. And Nemesis, without a doubt, is probably the top-tier team in this entire championship series.
That Nemesis RLPC series yesterday felt like it could be the grand finals. And I mean, speaking of which, we're going to get this grand final started, so we don't have to wait any longer. But I do want to talk more about that RLPC series. I don't know if you were watching it, Soka, but Nemesis was outshot 37-13 by RLPC, and they still hung on to win. So they're going to have to bring that defense against Team Frontline when they get started here in a second.
Yeah, and it's not even just all about the defense either. They may have had the lower shot count, but they had a higher shot accuracy. Even by only taking fewer shots than RLPC, they made more of them. So it's not just about, the amount of shots that you take. It's about finding the back of the net, while either you're putting shots on target or you're taking out the defenders. Either way, a shot only counts if it goes into the back of the net.
And hopefully we see a lot of those said shots here in this best of 7 as Nemesis and Team Frontline are about to take the field for one final series for $300. We'll see who ends up taking it. Best of 5s, kind of that safe middle ground, but with best of 7s in spaces like this, in tournaments, you have to make sure you bring your A game earlier as best as possible, because taking advantage of your opponent's nerves are critical in a series like this, which just got started. Finally prepared for this grand finals, and away we go.
Well, there you have it, and already it's going to be Jelly going up towards the side, but they're met by Luca. And now the follow-up going in from Brandon, trying to go off the backboard, but nudging was there to nudge that one right on back into the opposite territory for Nemesis. And now a demolition from Mitch onto Deciph. Oh my goodness, already the physical play coming out, but it doesn't lead to a goal, as Brandon will come in clutch to get the save and clear it away.
Controlled defense so far. I mean, the offense has had some decent looks, but the back line's holding up, and that's something you look at in a series like this, like we were just talking about, potentially nerves affecting your defensive positioning and touches. Maybe that was a bad dive in from D-Scythe caused by nerves, but Nudging controls it and able to get it to that midfield line, but it's into Brandon's hands. Now Mitch Chance off that back wall. Brandon trying to clean up Nudging's miss. Jelly in to clean up their teammates' miss. Didn't allow any kind of punishment on that mistake there. We stay scoreless.
Yeah, but right now it's looking very dangerous for Frontline. Nemesis is doing a very good job at rotating around and recovering into their own half to keep the ball inside of Frontline territory. They are continuing to hold the line there at the midfield, and they are working these pass plays as the waterfall will come down, but it will get cleared out.
So much pressure right now in favor of Nemesis. TFL has to find some kind of clear ASAP, or Luca's going to do something like that. A standout player this entire tournament in Luca starts off the scoring in the grand finals.
Yep, I hate to say that I saw it coming, but I kind of saw it coming. Nemesis was just doing too well controlling the ball from the midfield and then putting it inside of the danger of Frontline territory time and time again, and then Frontline just couldn't gain possession of the ball. So eventually, after so many amount of shots, one will eventually fall for Nemesis. And now another, as they will go up 2-0 over Frontline.
That was just straight up control off kickoff. Nudging got clean beat, and demo. Sorry, that was Nudging that got demoed. It was someone else on the ground. My eyes automatically went to the demo play because I figured that's where the action would be, but just smoke and mirrors and simple carry off kickoff. Get Nemesis their second.
And there you have it. Finally, we're seeing a little bit of offensive pressure coming from the side of Team Frontline. They are starting to make that push, but the clear will come through from Brandon. And now back towards Nudging as the ball will find its way back towards that midfield. And now Luca trying to go for the flippery doodah Philip flip reset, but wasn't able to connect. Now Mitch sending this one down and over towards the side. You see Nudging there again in the corner, getting a little cheeky boost arm there. And now Jelly will take possession, trying to get this one over to Nudging, but it will get saved, and Brandon is there to clear it away.
Still going, though, this Team Frontline offensive, looking solid, looking scary. Nemesis needed that touch right there. Mitch put his car's body on the line. It was blown up, but it cleared the zone temporarily. Jelly took it right back into that RNG and scores.
Look at Jelly. Look at this aerial acrobatic control. And look at D-Scythe. D-Scythe went up, but that was a tactical whiff. That was a distraction. That was a good play all around. And then, of course, we were able to see Jelly doing a little finesse in the air, giving their team the first goal on the board for Frontline.
Whoa, a little scary there. Jelly does get back in time, but Frontline almost gave up a goal as soon as they earned their first. But they'll stay at a 2-1 scoreline, trying to work their way back from an early deficit. They have to find a clear soon, and D-Scythe likely not going to with 0 in the tank. This will be another try for Luca. Wanted a crazy double there. Floated the ground, but couldn't get it. Now TFL transitioning out. Jelly back up into the air. Bumped early on this time. Smart play by Brandon.
Absolutely. You see Jelly going up in the air to try and do another self-air dribble. They scored the last time, so you cannot allow Jelly to maintain possession for that long. So it only makes sense. You got to bump him out of the air. You got to get physical. You got to get a little mean. And that's exactly what we saw from Nemesis, and they were able to stop that play even before it happened.
Oh, boom, and clear down, and that'll completely stop the TFL play in the offensive side of things. And D-Scythe again, another miss, perhaps nerves, and, well, you're going to get punished if Brandon's in the area. He'll take the ball and slam it home.
And this is just great rotation. This is tight rotation. Now, you see Brandon didn't opt out to run all the way back to the midfield, which is what a lot of players do. They go for that 100 boost there on the side, and then they play from the mid. They simply turned around, got a 12-pack of boost, a little 12-piece, and then turned tightly back into that corner to get a nice high-speed shot into the back of the net and put it on target to now get yet another goal, getting back that 2-goal cushion in the favor of Team Nemesis.
Nudging wants one back, won't get it, but got Luca instead, which is an important player you need off the pitch if you're going to find success in Team Frontline strategy. Nudging, another big touch to the center line. Luca right back there, being a nuisance as always, slowing down the counterattack. Brandon losing control, but Mitch is there. Big challenge with D-Scythe and Brandon as well. Teamwork makes the dream work. It makes Team Frontline play more defense. Nemesis controlling the end of this game one nicely.
Yeah, we need to see some more teamwork coming from the side of Frontline. Don't get me wrong. I love some finesse, but Jelly shouldn't have to do it all on their own, as they will get another goal on the board, and they will bring themselves back within 1 of Team Nemesis.
Oh, a deft touch to get it underneath that last man. Incredible by Jelly. Yesterday, I was afraid for Team Frontline's prospects against Audacity when Jelly wasn't having the series they had on day 1. But they found a way, and now here it's Jelly starting off successful. The rest of TFL has to follow suit. Nemesis try their best to get this game 1 over with. This Team Frontline seem rejuvenated.
They once again tried to make it happen, but instead the ball will find its way back towards the side of Frontline. And now Nemesis, all they have to do is run the remainder of the clock. And now Jelly trying to take control, trying to equalize with the last-ditch effort off the backboard, and it will not go in. Nemesis will hold on to the lead and take the game here in round number 1.
That should have been a tie game. Nudging just didn't expect Jelly to leave that completely alone. The comms weren't clear enough from Team Frontline. Great setup, just didn't have the clear line of communication to make sure Nudging was there to polish it off. And despite out shooting Nemesis, they drop game 1. Good go out of it at it. Jelly really put their stamp on game 1, but not enough to overrun the Nemesis ink that's on the page.
Yeah, and honestly, once again, we're talking about how Nemesis doesn't have to take that many shots. They got 6 shots on the board. Frontline had 7. Frontline, again, had more shots than Nemesis did, but the difference is that Nemesis was finding the back of the net. They're taking better shots. They're rotating just slightly better. They are getting bumps in demo plays just slightly better, and it's really all those tiny details that are making the biggest difference between Frontline and Nemesis.
Well, it's worth reminding everyone that yesterday in the Audacity Team Frontline series, Frontline dropped game 1 against Audacity, and then they proceeded to win 3 straight and outscore Audacity 6-1 in those 3 games. So look out for them rebounding in game 2 here. Nemesis throwing everything at them, make sure that is not the case. Does a good job to slow down that try from TFL.
Well, Luca's starting things off early here in game number 2. Doesn't get much doing. As you can see, the ball will find its way back into the territory of Nemesis, but the clear will come through as Brandon will get the touch to put this one down inside of Frontline territory. Now going up high off the backboard is D-Scythe to put this one down, but once again, we are seeing Nemesis putting on that wall there at the midfield.
An uncharacteristic miss, but is rewarded as Mitch had an ill-advised back pass right there. It was kind of a back pass to Nudging, who just stuck around the play and gets the first goal for Team Frontline.
Yeah, that time Nudging really just bullied their way through. Like I was talking about the line they had at the midfield, and Nudging just literally bulldozed their way through it. Took no time at all to just get past the defense of Nemesis, and were able to get the first goal of this game in favor of Team Frontline.
Brandon slowing it down, couldn't get it over Nudging. Try a second touch, but there's no one there to receive for Nemesis. 50 in the center circle, pretty neutral, but the demo attempt onto D-Scythe unsuccessful, and Frontline will move forward again, try and double up. D-Scythe pop to the back wall. Luca's in the area, has it all covered up. Nice positioning there, plus a moon flick to the skies with that ball and into the TFL half.
Yeah, Nudging now able to get the clear, but you see Luca there and waiting all the way in the backfield. Easy clear for them. Mitch with the cherry pick, not able to get that one on, but here comes Brandon trying to take a turn, going off the waterfall, and D-Scythe is there to take that one back in towards the corner. Now the 50-50 off of Nudging, back towards D-Scythe. They have the 2v1, but no bump and not even an attempt made to try and make an advantage play there, as now possession will fall back to Nemesis.
That was another miscommunication from TFL. They had the 2v1, but D-Scythe didn't have any boost, and whoever was up with them didn't know. And now Nemesis can try and equalize, take advantage of the misplay previous TFL try, but they cannot. Still playing defense, Team Frontline, guarding that center line with purpose, similar to how Nemesis did in the last game, and for a good chunk of the beginning of this one. We'll see if they can reestablish that line, but Nudging across the center of the pitch into open space where Luca will take over, but still having to contest the blue card at the center line. That time it was more free, so Nemesis will get a try equalizer.
And you can see the ball struggling to get out of Frontline territory here, as now Brandon will take a turn to get the touch out of the corner. We'll go for it again, putting the pass down, and Mitch puts it in. We are all tied back at 1 apiece.
That's more like it from Nemesis. Great pass, completely beat Jelly in that challenge. D-Scythe and Nudging not prepared for it whatsoever. Can't blame them, because that was not a bad position for Jelly. Just couldn't get their car around perfectly to find the best touch in that situation.
And here we go. Mitch winning the kickoff there, is able to get this one into the corner, now off the ceiling. Gets the pass off to Brandon, and they will find the back of the net yet again, as they will take the lead over Frontline.
Oh, that is perfect from Mitch, getting it down, and Jelly was pulled just slightly out of position. Couldn't, again, get the perfect touch needed in that situation, and it most certainly punished right there by Brandon. Incredibly done by Nemesis, and just like that, with the blink of an eye, Nemesis leads.
And now D-Scythe back into the retreat now, has a little bit of boost to work with. They're able to pick up the 100. Is able to get past 1, but not 2 defenders, as Jelly looking to pass to D-Scythe, but Brandon is there to clear that one out over towards Luca. Luca back towards the mid, towards Brandon, and now to Mitch, the 3-way pass play, trying to connect, but Jelly is there to break it up.
Down the field goes that ball, but Again, into the hands of Luca. Feels like every time TFL gets a clear, it's somewhere in Luca's area where send it right back. But not quite this time. Jelly into the air. Mitchell can contest. Falls into Nudging's lap, but again, just tossing it away into the corner, trying to establish offensive position with hard hits, but they will have it all taken away. It's down the drain thanks to Mitch. He flushes that offense into TFL, and they have to try again.
Yeah, it's just kind of a slow-paced game right now. Both of these teams, they don't want to do anything too risky, where in game number 1, it looked like they were all risking it for the biscuit. Now it's a lot more slower pace. It's a lot more methodical, and we're seeing a good amount of fewer shots being taken. Right now, Frontline only sits at 3 shots taken. They're going to have to pump those numbers up if they're going to try to equalize, and they are so close, but do not put it in the back of the net. It goes just off the sidebar, and we are still at 2-1 in favor of Nemesis.
Double commit. D-Scythe recovers nicely. Cat-like reflexes on that play to keep TFL in manageable territory. Jelly the same, and to climb the ladder for that save, but they need offense now. Brandon's miss will open the door for Jelly to step in and at least put their foot in. Honestly, not all the way through the frame, but at least that's a start. Luca will shove him away. Back outside with Yi, says Luca. Once more, Team Frontline having to start from their back end, but it's in Jelly's hands. That's good news. Just can't do anything with it that time. Looking like it'll have to be a 0-second play unless nothing can do something magical here.
Well, here we go. They have an opportunity, putting the ball down. Now back up into the air. There's no time left as the ball will find its way out towards the corner, and the ball will hit the dirt to make it hurt for Team Frontline as Nemesis takes game number 2.
All right, 2-0 series lead. It looked like Team Frontline was going to turn it around right there. They had so many chances. They just had the early goal. Everything was in their favor. And then Nemesis with 2 quick hits using their superior playmaking abilities in that game to take the lead and hold on to it for dear life. That time out shooting Team Frontline. So nicely done. Controlling the possession game a lot better, and the results show.
Yeah, you want to talk about possession. This time, Nemesis took more of the shots here. You can see they have 7 shots on the board and only 5 coming from Frontline. But with that being said, both of the goals scored by Nemesis came off of the assist. They came off the pass plays. And as we all know, it is the pass plays that win the games. Over there on Frontline, they were really struggling to get the ball around. Nudging was only able to score by their lonesome, getting past the defense there in the midfield, and they were able to punish on a miscommunication coming from Nemesis. But since then, that early goal, they didn't score anything. It's unfortunate. We need to see more communication, and we need to see some more team plays coming from Frontline. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing Jelly go for the finesse, the aerial acrobatics, but you gotta pass the ball around. You gotta share the sugar.
Definitely. They're struggling to find one another, and there were those small miscommunications as well. So it's a recipe for, I don't want to say failure, that seems too harsh a word, but the opposite of success for Team Frontline. If they don't clean up those small things, then they're not going to find themselves $300 richer at the end of the night. But the playmaking ability of Jelly is not one to be trifled with, though. Seems to be said about Luca. There's a flip. There's a challenge. The second teammate, Mitch, does step up, but a little bit too late to take the open lane to goal. Brandon tried to fake Nudging out of their shoes, but couldn't quite get it done.
Nudging now, taking this one out and towards the side. Doesn't get past Luca. Luca putting this one back into Frontline territory as D-Scythe is going to go off the back wall now, showing some impressive control as they will win a 50-50 and now get the ball past Brandon. Back over to Jelly. They have an opportunity. D-Scythe will put this one out of the corner, gets the demo on Mitch, but the defense from Nemesis was able to react and get back in time.
Ooh, Jelly found Nudging right there, I guess. Listening to us at Soka and finding their teammate, and, well, even more so, D-Scythe and Nudging linking up there. That's not a pass, that's a missed shot, but regardless, it almost found a teammate, so I'll give them half credit, though. They get scored on at the end of the play, so I don't know how much success they found with it, but, you know, Nemesis, that's some great midfield play, intercepting a whole bunch of those looks, the fake, everything just going their way at the moment.
Yeah, that was one heck of a mind game over there towards the corner. At first, I thought it was a straight-up whip. I was like, oh, no, they gave away a free goal. But then I saw it was just a simple mind game. Instead of committing and trying to get the touch, they knew that they could just leave it, and the ball would bounce out of the corner anyway. So, again, great big brain IQ play coming from Nemesis over on the side of Brandon to get the ball to Luka, to put it on and in, and get the first goal of game number 3 to Team Nemesis.
Brandon's been a fake Meister throughout this series. That's one of many we've seen so far, and they get Team Frontline players almost every time. So that's something to keep an eye on going forward if TFL becomes privy to it, if they keep falling for it. Minch, a big win. Kelly will recover, but there's Brandon again, finding Luka. Shot got 3 to jump for it, but was saved by D-Scythe, though. Nemesis looking terrifying right now with their offensive tries.
Yeah, and again, it's causing Frontline defense to scramble a little bit. It seems like they're losing their footing because every time they go to rotate or try to come up with at least a little bit of offense, they seem to kind of trip over their own shoelaces, and they end up in a horrible position with their backs against the wall, as again another shot from Nemesis will find the back of the net, giving them a 2-goal cushion over Frontline.
Brandon has been so involved with every scoring opportunity for Nemesis, really facilitating that offense while being there to finish off passes, being there to set up potential shots, and I mean, it's usually Luka that's the catalyst for this offense, but right now, Brandon doing such a great job finding teammates, doing it himself, and D-Scythe maybe the same, but couldn't quite do it himself against 3 Nemesis defenders.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't do it yourself. You got to get the pass plays going, and that's what we're talking about. Jelly now getting involved here, being able to get the touch off and towards the middle, waiting there for nudging. That was a perfect pass play. We need to see more of that coming from Frontline.
I'm with you. I mean, not just for Team Frontline's success in making this a closer series, but because that was a well-executed, just beautiful play. Want to see that and then some. Nudging in the air, past one. Oh, okay. I was hoping me asking for a beautiful play was going to speak it into action, but unfortunately not the way the world works, for me at least. It's okay. You always seem to have your way with speaking things into existence, but not I.
Well, you see, the thing about speaking things into existence, it's both a blessing and a curse, because sometimes you can call a good play, but you can also call a bad one, and that's what they call a caster's curse and or captain caster's curse.
Okay, well, I'll have to learn from the master right here. We'll see if Jelly can score on this attempt. I'd love to see that. Get us tied up with 90 seconds left, make it a juicy end. Oh, speaking of juice, that was a juicy attempted fake by Luka. Nemesis still forcing Team Frontline to scramble on their back lines, play that sketchy defense where they're just rushing at the ball, trying to get back in position, but sometimes you gotta play from weird spots, and right now it is not working. So much possession in favor of Nemesis.
Absolutely, and again, the stats tell the tale. As you can see, the shot count for Nemesis just continuously continues. I just used the word continue twice, as they continue to climb. And the shot count for Nemesis is now, we can finally see Frontline breaking out of their own half and putting the pressure onto Nemesis.
Ooh, okay, I like the idea right there. D-Scythe was bumping, Jelly was setting up, Nudging just wasn't in the air. He didn't feel comfortable committing for that play. D-Scythe with a dunk worthy of the greats of basketball legend. That's an incredible equalizer to get us all knotted up.
Yeah, that was just some good reads all around. You know, we saw the pass coming out from the corner of Nudging, being able to win that 50-50 on the wall, and then being able to put it off the wall and back into in front of the net, where we saw D-Scythe, or, you know, there and waiting to just put that one on and in, and now we have ourselves a tie ball game.
There's the juice I was talking about. 40 seconds left. See who steps up in the clutch, or if we get to a little bit of extra time. That's a nice setup shot. I think it was just short of being on target, but defense isn't ready for it. Go for it. Maybe your teammate's there to back you up. 30 seconds now on this clock, and Nemesis doesn't have a whole lot of boost in the tank at the moment, but they've got a setup for Mitch. Shot on, saved by Nudging.
Just 20 seconds left to go as Luka tries to make an attempt, but has the boost to work with. D-Scythe Now hitting this one out to corner, but Brandon puts that one down towards Mitch. Mitch going up high off the crossbar, but they cleared out their own touch. Brandon very well could have put that one in, but the offense is not giving up yet. The ball coming off of Mitch, now back to Luca, putting this one up and off the backboard, but nudging is there to nudge that one back and towards the side, but the ball is still alive. Jelly trying to go up to put this one down, and finally it will hit the dirt, and Mr. Bepic, we have overtime.
All right, Team Frontline, all of us that watched day 2 know they're not strangers to that extra period of time, but Nemesis know how to take care of business here, and I'm sure they would love a quadruple match point, but this is like that, not going to help. Jelly with not best to Luca in that instance, but this is a real chance for D-Side. Takes the shot, far post, it's good, 2-1. Nemesis will still lead.
Oh my goodness, that's how you get it done in OT. 23 short seconds, and the give and go from Frontline was able to find the back of the net. Now we're seeing the pass play start to develop for Frontline. Now we are seeing what they are capable of, as finally they will take a game and a win away from Team Nemesis.
Still not leading the shot tallies at the end of that game. It was 9-9. Which they haven't led since game 1, but they didn't find more saves. Frontline just kind of found more quality opportunities in that game and made Nemesis weren't able to save it. I'm not sure. The stats don't tell the entire tale right there at Soka. It was more the midfield battles and then the small things that led to TFL winning that one.
It was all the small things, but regardless, it really is in the details when you get down to it. Just some small, things that you honestly would miss if you didn't get a chance to go back and look at some of these replays that we had. And when you go back and look at some of the shot replays, you were able to see that a lot of Frontline success came out of winning 50-50s. They were able to constantly get the ball past the defense out and towards the corner. Remember, we saw nudging with a great pass play that came out of the corner from winning a 50-50, and the same thing with Jelly. They were able to get 2 pass plays just by being able to get the ball up and over the defense by winning a clean 50-50. But with that being said, one thing I want to see from Team Frontline is more physical, more bump plays, because don't get me wrong, we've seen a lot of great physical play so far, but it's all been in the favor of Team Nemesis, and that's how they have found a good portion of their success.
Ooh, Mitch couldn't find contact there, so Team Frontline, maybe an early start in this game, perhaps. D-Side, there's some physical play, trying to hunt down Nemesis cars in defense, and Luca will return serve, a back check onto nudging, but will not clear the zone. Still playing from their backside, and a missed touch from Luca will invite Jelly into their home. Double commit, sends them right back out. Mitch to that back wall, but D-Side has it read, and 2 good looks for both teams, but the defense is able to get out.
I gotta say, I love how Nemesis can transition from defense to offense so quickly, and to go from being passive to aggressive so quickly. For one instant, it looks like they're just passing the ball around, trying to take control. In the next, they're coming out with mad demos. We saw an early demo coming from Luca back in the retreat, and it was able to save the shot from going in and really disrupt the offense from Frontline, as now once again we see Nemesis are now struggling to get the ball out of their own half.
They need to clear ASAP. They're being pulled apart right now by the Team Frontline offensive. There have been a couple of shots on where there's only been 1 player back, and most of the time you want 2 on your goal line. Even 3 would be much nicer. But I suppose when an offense is doing what TFL is doing right now and spreading you thin, you gotta take what you're given. And Nemesis does in stride. They're able to get out for a second, finding that blue side of the pitch, but Frontline, well, they tried to put it right back into the orange end, but left the ball alone at the center line, so maybe a chance to play offense, but right now we're just fighting for possession.
I don't know if you noticed, but D-Side just went and got back-to-back demolitions. I don't know what's going on. I have once again spoke things into existence. Now we're seeing a lot more demolitions and a lot more bump plays coming from both sides. Both of these teams are stepping up their offense in a major way, as Luca will once again take possession back in towards that midfield.
Well, in the last game, D-Side was going for a lot of pressures, but wasn't finding any kind of contact on the Nemesis car. So he's continuing that now, but he's actually finding the explosions. And then speaking of, one right there between Jelly and Luca. So it's working. Now that he's had a game under his belt to get used to the strategy and put it into full effect now, making Nemesis play awkward defense with low numbers. Jelly pop into the air, dunked by Mitch. Nicely done to finally get out and maybe even stay out.
Yeah, and now that we've passed halftime, Mr. Bepic, I think I can say safely that this is the longest we have gone so far in this series without a goal on the board. We are still sitting 0-0.
I think you're right. It has been a while, and it's not surprising with Team Frontline controlling the ball as much as they have, because their shooting has not been the most accurate of all teams in this bracket at SoCa. They miss a lot of shots when they are generating them, and well, they have only taken 2 in this game, but they're still struggling despite tons of possession to find goals.
Yeah, you want to talk about struggling to find shots on target right now. Nemesis doesn't have any. It seems like they've been able to take control and take possession away, but they're not putting shots on target. Every time they gain possession, they just get a touch or two, and then they give it right back to Frontline, who will finally find the back of the net as they go up 1-0 over Nemesis.
All right, how did Jelly do this? Oh, just use the broad side of that. Got some of that Fennec finesse right there. Jelly stuffing that ball home and finding the first. So, TFL, a lead with about 90 seconds left. We'll see what Nemesis does by way of response.
They still got a little bit of time to work with, and they will waste no time at all. A mere couple of seconds, 15 to be exact, between this goal and the last, and we once again have ourselves a tie ball game.
They must have Team Frontline on speed dial, because that was the fastest call back that we've seen this series. I mean, an immediate response. Team Frontline's opener. Now, tied up, Nemesis got their first shot on the board. Who knows what's going to happen next?
Well, Nudging knows what's going to happen next. They're going to come from the midfield to get the touch, but Mitch is going to look at Brandon there upfield as Mitch now gets the 50-50. Hit this one back down towards Luca as this will go high off the wall over to Jelly, who will take control, passing it to Nudging, but now Brandon is there to interfere, but the clear will come through for Team Frontline as they regain possession.
Could have been scary. There was someone ready for that. I can't believe Luca was prepared for that. But actually, now that I say it was Luca, I can believe it. No, Mitch not ready for that. Oh, the shot just short. Could have been, should have been, would have been. The shot just been on, but Frontline again, empty-handed back into their side of the field. Nemesis press forward, still trying to find a second shot, but they can definitely score their second goal while they're at it.
And now D-Scythe trying to take control here, doing a little fancy footwork there to get past Brandon. Now putting this one up towards the middle, but Mitch is there to send this one over towards Nudging, and now Jelly has an opportunity looking for the finesse, but Luca is there to get the save and clear it away.
Luca again into the air, but not really a clear. D-Scythe for Jelly, the shot not quite as high as it should have been. They wanted the best chance of scoring. Team Frontline still pressing, Nudging a challenge there. Jelly steps up, wants that 0-second goal to take this game in regulation, but they will not find it. We get another OT.
Absolutely. For the second time tonight, we have overtime. And already a demolition coming from D-Scythe onto Luca may open things up here early on as we see Jelly trying to get in on the action. We'll get a bump on the goalie, but Luca is there to clear that one out, sending it back to Frontline territory, forcing Nudging to come up clutch with a save.
Nudging, no third touch. D-Scythe demoed. Luca versus Jelly has Mitch center, but Jelly read that play all the way. Nice dunk from Luca will keep the ball in Nemesis' hands, but that's taken away by more physicality out of D-Scythe, using it to great success here in Game 4. And Team Frontline get to that center circle, get into the orange side of the pitch, and press even further in Nemesis territory.
And so far, I gotta say, the 1v1 mechanics coming out from both Jelly and Luca are nothing short of impressive. You can tell this is something they've worked on. If you could honestly look at the how it's played in the 1v1 playlist, my money would be that Luca and Jelly probably have the most. They have been so good at getting up and around defenses, being able to find the back of the net by themselves. So it just makes me think that they are probably the two best mechanically gifted players in this game.
I'd have to agree with you right there. I mean, the mechanics, Jelly and Luke have been on display all tournament long, and it'd be a disservice if they weren't on display in the grand finals. Luca They're finding a save on nudging shot. Team Frontline holding on to the ball. A lot more adjustments have been made since the beginnings of this grand finals. They have set up shop on that orange end of the field. Brandon trying to tear it down, forcing a save out of nudging. Pop it over Luca. Mitch right there. Nemesis gonna take this second overtime of this series, but still having to contest with a stingy TFL defense.
Now, you see, not only that, but the defense from Nemesis has been nothing short of spectacular. They have been able to accumulate 7 saves, and you gotta ask yourself, how many saves are you gonna allow for them to just stay in their net and get save after save before you do something about it? If I'm capping, say Captain's capping, but I think Frontline really need to start demoing Nemesis out of their net because they are just looking too comfortable inside of their own goal.
They got them a goal earlier, close to it a couple more times, but Frontline has to straight away from the demos in the orange net. Then there's one. It's a double demo on the blue net, and nudging doesn't matter. Fades the explosion from behind and moves into the orange side of the field. Try and get out of it. Not too easy with nudging in the area. Needs Luca's help, but again, nudging just being a pest. That Nemesis team. Brandon will find the clear, and almost hit 3 minutes of overtime now. We're playing a long one here.
Oh, absolutely. We've already done past an entire half of regulatory time here in OT, and still the deciding goal has yet to be made, but now an opportunity for Nemesis will once again be saved by Frontline as they will take the ball, putting it back in towards that midfield as Brandon is going to put this one back towards the corner. Now Jelly going to take a turn with some flick action there, not being able to get past Luca, but the shot will get saved again by Brandon, and you can see the offense coming from Frontline is going absolutely insane, but they still cannot find the back of the net.
Pass intercepted, though. It's over to Jelly. TFL finding one another, finding a chance for D-Scythe, but Mitch plays hero on the Nemesis goal line. He'll add some to his success with a pass center, but Luca didn't trust. Still found a shot saved by Jelly. Frontline trying to break out. It's a 1v1, nudging versus Mitch, but shot too strong, and we'll find a save.
You want to hear an insane stat right now, Mr. Bepic?
Yes.
There is a total of 4 Savior medals currently on the board here in this game. You have 2 Savior medals on the side of Nemesis and 1 on the side of Frontline. A lot of defense being played.
Good defense as well to keep us going this long. Team Frontline for, well, never mind. Nemesis just scored while I was trying to make a point. Luca does it himself. Nice work in the TFL end.
Luca really just pulled that play off by themselves. I'm sorry. They were able to win 2 50-50s on the sidewall, maintained control, and then pulled the third goalie out. The third defender comes out of the net, leaving it open for Luca. Luca really just completely bullied the defense coming from Frontline just now.
6-14. That was the total shot tallies, and Nemesis had the 6, TFL had the 14. Not a good look for Team Frontline out shooting Nemesis by that much. They had 11 of those saves, or those shots saved, but still, you got to be putting in more of those opportunities. They struggled in their first series in the tournament. They managed to keep it close because of inaccurate shots, and against Nemesis, they're a little bit better than their round 1 opponent. And, well, we're seeing the result now. It's 3-1 in favor of Nemesis.
And again, this is just looking all too good for Nemesis right now. But the save count is simply insane. 11 saves. 11 saves. That is probably the most I think I've seen in a tournament setting before. Nemesis defense, again, is absolutely spectacular. And we've even talked about it earlier on. The ability of Nemesis to transition from defense to offense and then vice versa so quickly, and being able to recover from plays that honestly should have thrown their defense asunder from the bumps and sometimes a demo. We didn't see a lot of demos coming from Frontline, but when they did, Nemesis was able to recover almost instantaneously.
Especially late in that game when Team Frontline tried to go back to that demo strategy, which worked early on, and still, like you said, they recovered nicely and able to do too much. This is his defense, and now transition. Once again, we've seen this be their strong suit throughout the tournament. It's how they beat RLPC, might be how they beat Team Frontline in 5, which Brandon might have just kickstarted.
And honestly, we just saw two displays of aerial acrobatics. First, Mitch getting the pass off and down off of the corner to put it up for Brandon. And then Brandon comes in doing some aerial acrobatics themselves to put the shot on. And they will take a 1-goal early lead. And possibly this could be the game match for Nemesis if they can hold on to the lead.
Let's see what Team Frontline does about it first. The ball's in their court. Let it slip. Jelly tried to fire one on net. Luca didn't have much boost and rushing back, but didn't have to make any kind of save. Pinched forward. Again, a weak ball. That time was on target. It's the opposite of the Team Frontline attempt. Last transition. Going back and forth right now. No one's really able to make much of the balls they're given, and D-side pops that up, gives it away, and I guess this is a fight for possession going back and forth as the offenses look pretty weak at the moment.
Yeah, right now Nemesis has almost all the control here. And you can see they are rotating around as Mitch will get the demo on D-side, but luckily for Frontline, they were able to clear it before any damage could be done.
Ooh, D-side gets it through, and a second touch as well. Might find a bump, gets it. Where's the teammate? No one trusted D-side to make that play, and Team Frontline going to come away empty-handed. So close, yet so far.
Another opportunity now as Jelly is able to put this one into Nemesis territory, nudging with the follow-up, but will get blocked as Mitch is able to get the ball past two defenders from Frontline. And now Luca going up high to take a turn is able to get the save off of Jelly as the redirect from Mitch will go on, but nudging will get the save.
Okay, past Luca, Brandon steps up. That tandem, honestly, the full Nemesis roster so cohesive as a unit, playing in tandem with one another. It's always someone forces a challenge, and then someone else is right there immediately. Snap up possession and do something with it. Jelly did something right there. Don't know what I'd call it, but I'm not gonna have to call it anything. It didn't come to fruition. Pair of demos for either side, and doesn't really work out in anyone's favor. D-side has to start out from his own half with that possession play, and can't really do anything with it.
And now back to the midfield it goes, and really we're just seeing a little bit of stagnated play coming from the side of Frontline, but now Jelly will open things up, but no one is there to reciprocate. By the time they finally get a shot on, the recovery has come through from Nemesis, and once again, what would have, could have, should have been a goal has been denied for Team Frontline.
So close again. TFL fans are gonna feel that similar sting throughout their run here. Been able to beat teams by outpossessing them and scoring when it mattered most. Here, they've not been able to do that, but in one game, and Jelly comes up short right there. Nemesis going to find a clear, going to make nudging to an awkward defensive spot, but still only leading by one. There's a chance for TFL here, but they have to put some shots home.
Yeah, and so far what I'm seeing right now is a lot of hesitant play coming from the side of Team Frontline. Jelly, once again, trying to take it themselves, but will be denied. We're not seeing Frontline take any big risks. Don't get me wrong, you know, you don't want to risk it all the time, but you gotta risk it some of the time. If you don't take any risks, you're not gonna find the back of the net. And right now, every time we see an opportunity to develop for Frontline, no one pulls the trigger, no one goes for the shot, and it ends up just falling back into the possession of Nemesis, as once again, we see Team Nemesis will in fact take control.
Ball center, but Jelly's first there. Wins that race. Not going to go up for the shot, and there was no one else there for Team Frontline. I think still a bit boost starved from their previous defensive try. Nudging. Again, trying something magical, but can't get it through the Nemesis defense. More good reads on their back line, reminiscent of their series against RLPC yesterday, where they just made acrobatic save after acrobatic save, and it kept them afloat until they won the series. Might have just done that here in the grand finals.
Well, now they have an opportunity as the bump will come through, and it will leave a lane open for Brandon, as now with just 44 seconds remaining, it will be Nemesis to take a 2-0 lead.
A shot by Brandon. Realized that Nudging had that whole goal to cover and chose the one spot that Nudging was going to fly past in an attempt to cover that entire net. Beautifully done again, as Brandon's had several plays like that tonight where he stepped up, made it happen. And that's a backwards ball from Team Frontline. Not going to help their case at Soka. We're starting to see the writing on the wall.
Yeah, it's starting to look that way. Now, don't get me wrong. They still have time to score 2 goals. It's not out of the question just yet. but we really need to see Frontline start to take control as time continues to tick away. It's starting to look as though they have already accepted defeat.
10 seconds left. You go right here, right now. Don't quite get it. In fact, they go the wrong way, and that crowns Nemesis Gaming as your RLSC champions. They bring home $300, and they look good doing it.
They most certainly do. They popped off in a spectacular fashion. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure we all wanted to see that Game 7. But the fact of the matter is that Nemesis simply would not be denied the win here. They were able to not only take a good, decent amount of shots, but they were putting them on target. They were finding the back of the net. And their shot percentage was absolutely insane. Brandon, already in that last match, was MVP, shooting 2 for 3. That is insane, and their defense was able to step up in a major way. They had a very good balance of both offense and defense. Normally, when we see a lot of these championship teams, they're really offensive heavy. They're really aggressive. They take control of the ball, and they constantly pump up their shot count. But with Nemesis, they were able to transition from offense to defense so perfectly that they managed to get just as many shots as they had saves.
They were outshot in 3 of their 4 wins in that series. Incredible stats there as they do it the unconventional way. Like you said, it's typically offensive-heavy teams. No, sir, not Nemesis. They did it well as well. So congrats to them, but congrats to Team Frontline for getting this far. I mean, they had to beat some tough teams in Polaris and Audacity to get to this point, but they ran up against a true-to-form brick wall of Nemesis in the grand finals.
They most certainly did. And honestly, it's been a ride from start to finish. Even being able to come out from Game 1 to this format that is being put on by the Rocket League Server Champions, inviting all these well-known organizations to really show what they're made of here in this tournament. And we have seen literally some of the best from the Rocket League community. Again, all the way from teams like RLPC to Team Frontline to Audacity. And of course, Nemesis being the best of the best, at least for now.
For now, that's right. There will be more RLSC RLSC events in the future, trying to make it bigger and better. And it's thanks to all your support, all of you in chat right now watching, the viewer numbers and just the fanfare in the chat. I saw all the spams. There were a lot of Nemesis fans in chats, and your team made you proud. So we have to say goodbye for now, but there will be a next time. I can promise you that. Ahsoka, thanks for joining me in the booth. ASCII, our wonderful producer, all weekend long. Thank you to him. Thanks to all the players for playing. We will see you next time, whenever that is. But for now, goodbye.